Hello everyone, how are you doing? Welcome back to Train Sim World 5, and this is a site you don't see every day because we are in the Maroon Class 52 as part of the Looking Back series. I believe we are on episode 8, and we did drive the Class 52 Western on the Diesel Legends Controversy Looking Back episode. That was part of the Diesel Legends. This Maroon Western is a separate DLC which you can pick up, which is housed normally on the West Somerset Railway. Now, I went to have a look at running a service on this, and when I went to select the actual 52 itself, I was expecting just the West Somerset to come up as an available option. However, the Midland Main Line also came up. So we are at Derby. Not only that, it gets complicated. We are pulling these TEA fuel tankers because they come in as part of the cargo line pack. Was this cargo pack number 1 or was it 2? I can't remember. We've got a third one coming up soon, haven't we? So that's what I mean. You don't see this very often, do you? Not nowadays, you don't. There's not many of these maroon ones knocking about. I don't think there's many westerns at all knocking about. Again, we'll go through the Steam page to have a look at the western itself and the history of it, etc. But we're not going to review the Midland Main Line. We're here for the 52 only. So yeah, there's a concoction of about 3 DLCs going on right now. Let's get out of the photo mode. And we're going to get everything set up. So, first of all, let's have the master key on. We'll go into forwards, if it will let me. There we go. And cab change, AWS. Do I need to do that in order? I think so. That one first, then that one. That's better. Now, we've got the switches down here, as you know. I'm going to do it this way. Marker light, is that the red one? We'll check in a second. Headlight. Where's the instrument lights? The instrument lights are here. Somewhere. Come on. Where are you? It's tricky. There is a... I don't know if it's working. There's a... We did this last time with the Diesel Legends. There's an internal view which brings up, there it was, it brings up this panel, but on the PS5 controller, which is what we're playing on today because we're on the PS5, it's difficult to navigate that once you get to the panel. So yeah, you can do this and you can see you can get to this panel and it's difficult. I don't know how you navigate around there. I can't get the cursor to move about, but that's the panel that I was just playing with. We've even got foot warmers there, look, which is quite nice. Let's get back to the seat, shall we, if we can. There we go. Right, so let's just check the lights at the front. I don't think we need the marker light on. No, the marker light is there, isn't it? We don't need the marker light, so we're going to go back down here again and turn that off. That one's easy to find. The headlight's not very bright, is it? That's it. We have got the classification light on as well at the front, but yeah, it's not going to be seen very well, is it? We do have a green. We'll get the brakes off. This is an early morning service, and I do believe we are going from Derby to Nottingham on this one. Let's give it some thrash, shall we? Oh, look at that clag. Now these are empty tankers, so I would expect it to take the weight of these pretty well, but we'll see. Come on, it's probably the brakes coming off this, it's taking time. Let's just check the brakes are all off. There we go, just took time for us to get going. So we've got a 30 coming out of Derby, which is fine. Midland Main Line on its own, I know it's simple, but I'm going to review it. because it's pretty new, the Midland Main Line. We will get to that in this series at some point, I'm sure, but the Midland Main Line is actually a very nice route. That had some issues, didn't it, to start with? This is a route by Skyhook Games, but they've been away and extensively improved it since it released. I remember on the PS5 we couldn't even get to, I think we couldn't get to Nottingham. It would always crash on the way into Nottingham, which was not ideal, not with a brand new route. They fixed all that and made lots of improvements. Then the cargo line packs have come out as well, which further increase the playability on this route, and it's now a very, very tidy route actually. So just as an aside, if you're new to Train Sim World and you're looking for quite a nice UK route, by all means go and have a look up the Midland Main Line route. I quite enjoy it. We've got the Euro Phoenix Rail Operations Group 37 over there. Another nice DLC. Oh dear me, there's so many. We got HSTs, we got Class 45s coming up now. We've got some 47s. Look, we got the Intercity 47, the large logo 47. What is going on? This is great, isn't it? We've not even looked at the 52 yet. Look at this. Oh, let's have it. It's great, that. Let's keep an eye on the speed. Oh, look at that. We got the trusty shunter, the Gronk, the 08 is looking very weathered and battered there. Tucked away with the parcel vans, ready to come out, coaches I should say. Right, so we can get up to 60, so let's give it the beans, shall we? Why not? Let's look at the schedule actually. So we're going Kingsbury oil siding, so 6E46. Actually then the classification should be different on the front, shouldn't it? Should it not match that? So should it be 6E46 on the front? I'm not sure. Kingsbury oil sidings to Lindsay Oil Refinery Petroleum. And we're going via Trent East Junction and then stopping at Nottingham. So we're straight through. It's a straight run. So we'll do that and we'll quite enjoy it. I thought this would be a nice little run. I did, looking back, episode 7 during the week. I put a little link to that up in the top corner now. That was Oakville. Now, I'm going to assume there's not high numbers on that video, and I'm going to assume that's because it was Oakville and not because it was me. I'm going to hope you don't mind my videos. It was just the fact that it was Oakville. The numbers have been quite low on that one compared to the other Looking Back series. Maybe I understand why that is. If you watch the Oakville video, then you'll get my opinion on that quite quickly. But anyway, shall we look at the Steam page for this Maroon Class 52? And it says, built to work top link expresses across British Rail's Western region, featuring unique and ambitious technologies. The BR Class 52 now spends its days in retirement on heritage railways and enthusiast excursions, and is primed for diesel gala duty on Train Sim World's freshly remastered West Somerset Railway. I was on that yesterday actually, and I was actually driving the Class 150 up to Bishop's Lydyard, which was quite interesting. There's a lot of short services there for the 150 since it's been remastered. The 1955 plan to modernise Britain's railways set in motion a cascade of mass dieselisation. Many regions favoured diesel-electric technology to replace hard-working steam, but the Western region derived their inspiration from German diesel hydraulic transmission. A handful of designs would come from this decision, but none were as striking as the appropriately named Western. And let me just make sure I'm watching the speed, because that wouldn't be good. We're in a 60 zone. Designated the Class 52, the Western proved the potential of hydraulic power, pulling express services through Western England with ease, and capable of 90 miles per hour operation, thanks to its double engine setup. Following a reign throughout the 60s and 70s, commonality had spoken, and rival diesel-electric technology became the dominant choice for British motive power. Thankfully, a handful of Westerns dodged the cutter's torch and in years since have taken charge working rail tours and reminiscing in yesteryear on heritage railways, and in this case, on the Midland Main Line, working freight duties. I don't think in this time period this is not going to happen, is it? Not when this is set. This poor thing has done its duty now, hasn't it? It's, you know, it's capable of doing it, I'm sure. But if there's only so many of them in preservation, you're not going to see this, are you? Not really. You'll see, as it said there, you'll see the enthusiasts with a couple of coaches behind instead, with the heads sticking out the window. But that's about it. Shall we have some horn, by the way? It's more like a squeak, as we saw in the Diesel Legends one. I don't know about that. A lot of you commented after the Diesel Legends and said, actually, that's what the horn sounds like on a 52. Because I commented, it was like having a big 6-foot guy in the room with a squeaky voice. That's what it feels like to me. But a lot of you said, no, actually, it does sound like that. And I don't recall ever seeing one of these 52s in real life, so I can't even comment. I don't think we've seen many of them up north. I'm trying to think. I've been to the East Lancs Railway a couple of times. I can't remember if they have had one. They probably had one guesting there at some point, but I haven't been there when it's been there, if there has. So I've not seen one. But the key features of this particular maroon one, which you can still pick up if you want to, it is the BR Class 52 Western diesel hydraulic locomotive in BR maroon livery. Highly detailed, feature-rich driving cab. I think the cab's very nice, actually. And as part of the preservation crew additions to this, since it was originally released, we had things like the the signaller's radio. There was no option here to, sometimes you have a little, in the 47s, for example, you have a little telephone that you can click to simulate ringing the signaller. There isn't that in here, so they added this little radio. There's a few of the older locos have got this radio now on the desk. That wasn't original to this DLC. They've added that afterwards, so that's in there. True to life performance and handling, an accessible tutorial, 3 scenarios for the West Somerset Railway, and operable in the West Somerset Railway's Diesel Gala timetable, which was the new timetable, I think, that came out. Was that the new one? I think that was the new one. That's what allows all the other diesels to turn up, like the Pacer, like the 150, etc. So the way they got around that was by creating a diesel gala where everyone can sort of turn up out of period, if you will. So that's good. That's good on the West Somerset. We will get to look at the West Somerset at some point as part of this series. You can of course use it in free roam and take it onto any UK route for rail tour duty. So yeah, you can do it on any route, as I said, but this is actually layered in. So normally this service is performed by the Class 66, but in our case it's layered in with the 52, which was quite nice. I thought, why not? We'll run this. I think you guys will quite enjoy it. Some of you might not know that you can do this if you own this DLC. The way to do it, by the way, is go in the menu, instead of choose a route, because I tend to go to choose a route every time. Instead, if you go to choose a train, go straight to the 52 and click on it. It will then give you a selection of routes where the 52 is available, and one of these, for me, because I own the Midland Main Line, was the Midland Main Line, so I just clicked it. I thought, what's it doing on the Midland Main Line? I thought maybe it was a rail tour or something, but no, it's part of the cargo line petroleum pack. So that was quite nice. So I know lots of people, including me, I've got to admit, will say, oh, it's always a 66 every time we do freight. It's a 66. I understand the reasons for that. The 66 is basically the freight loco appearing everywhere in the UK. It's not region specific, is it really? so that's probably why. So if you're a little bit tired of running the 66, you've got some options here to actually change it around and drive this wonderful 52 with its really wide open cab and great viewing position. It's great. I love it. You can of course take it into the delivery designer if you want to, and you can download new scenarios, etc. and liveries from the Creators Club. I actually haven't got any liveries for this apart from this one. This came as its own DLC pack, as I said. Then we've got the BR Blue Class 52, which you can only get as part of the Diesel Legends pack. It gets confusing, doesn't it? I kept thinking that the other day. If you're new to TSW this time in September, probably going a little bit too fast there, I imagine it's very difficult to keep up with what runs where, what's required to get something to work as it should, with all the different DLCs, etc. that are available. Don't forget to have a look at the video what layers were, which we did quite recently. If I remember, I will put a link to that up now in the top corner. There is a spreadsheet created by one of our community members, Jason PFC, and in that sheet he's got all the layers listed, which routes they appear on, where each different DLC layers, so it will include this 52 and where this one layers, and go and use that. Keep that on your computer or on your tablet. It's a good little asset to use, and it keeps updating it every time you get new DLC. So if you are confused, and I've been in TSW from the beginning and I still get confused, make sure you go and check that one out, because that will be helpful, I think. That's good. We've just got the green as we're approaching the junction. So if we check the map, you can see here this is the junction, and we are off up here to Nottingham. Derby's at this side. We've got Nottingham. We've got the rest of the route going down this end, which we're not going to today, but there's nothing to stop you running down there on different occasions. Got a 15 on this junction. So this 52, this came out quite early. I want to say this was TSW2. It may have been earlier than that. I think TSW2 is when we first saw it. Again, Jason's spreadsheet would tell me that if I had it open in front of me right now. But obviously, it is a heritage loco. However, you can just listen to the sound of it to know what kind of a beast it is. And it was dying for a blast somewhere. And the only place it would run at that time was on the West Somerset Railway. The braking is really strong on these tankers, by the way. Just a little bit of brake takes a while to come off again. That's why we keep stopping. You could only run it on the West Somerset Railway at that time. There was no free roam. There was no scenario planner. So you were largely stuck to the 25 miles per hour limit of the West Somerset Railway. So I picked this up when it released, actually, and quite enjoyed it. But I kept thinking all the time, well, it's really wasted, and it was wasted there. But I understand why it was put on there. And everybody probably played the scenarios, did the achievements, because there was achievements for it as well at that time. One of which was, I think, to complete. There was one particular scenario on the West Somerset Railway which took over 2 hours to complete. So lots of us probably did that, ran a few services with it, and then probably didn't use it again because there wasn't a lot to do with it. And I did wonder at that time, obviously we know what we know now, but I did wonder at that time, these DLCs that we're buying, is that going to be it, or are we going to be able to use them in the future a lot more? And that is the way it's turned out. And straight away, once we got the scenario planner, I know me and many others I spoke to at the time, one of the first things we did was create scenarios on the Great Western Express and give this Maroon Western an absolute good blast between Paddington and Reading. It was dying for a blast, it honestly was. You could tell the power in this. Even if you'd never seen one in real life before, you could tell it was a beast of an engine. You could just see it. I mean, look at it. This is like all engine, isn't it? I love that. That smoke effect's great. So we did that, and we were able to finally give it a blast. And now, you know, years later, we've actually got layered-in services where we can use it, you know, legit like this, without, you know, making it up, which is quite nice. So I think now in TSW, if you're coming into TSW, if you do pick up any of these DLCs, you've got all sorts of places you can instantly use them. And even though this is designed for the West Somerset Railway, and I assume from what we just read, you will still need the West Somerset Railway to have this work in general in the game. You'll need West Somerset Railway as a base. I think there's lots of potential for it, and I do enjoy running this now. I enjoy running the BR Blue one in the Diesel Legends, to be honest, as well. But we've got the 158 there coming up the other side, which is quite nice. I imagine there's a few people there hanging out the window looking at that as we go past and thinking, where the heck has that come from? We can pretend we've been loaned out, can't we, to the Midland Main Line to run this. So we are going to Nottingham, of course, and we've got 6.5 miles. As soon as we get into this 80 zone, I'm going to open it up for this final stretch. But do let me know if you've got this Maroon Class 52, and I'm interested to know, did you buy it, rent it, release? Have you picked it up since? And is your experience, if you did pick it up at the beginning, is your experience similar to mine in that, you know, you just wanted to give it a thrash? I had it there, sat in the collection, just waiting for the day we could run it somewhere else, and I'm so pleased that we can now. And actually, that West Somerset has got so much better as well with the diesel Gala stuff. It did need a little bit of a looking at, let's say. And that's the first of the remastered routes. We've of course got Great Western Express remastered coming up at some point. Hopefully that's not too far off and we can get our hands on that. That'll be good. Right, let's give it the beans, shall we? There we go. Bit of thrash, bit of clag. Just wake everybody up at 6:30 in the morning. Nice, isn't it? Let's have a look actually what tonnage we've got. Right, so 806 tons empty. These are. If you run them when they're loaded, it's about 2,700 tons. And I think this single Western on the front might struggle to get going very fast at all, you know, that kind of weight. I don't know though, it's worth us trying that at some point. Let's have a look from the back, shall we, at the tankers. These are the TEA tankers that Skyhook made as part of the freight pack. Like I said, there's a third freight pack. We've got this one, petroleum. We've got aggregates. Both of them are great packs, by the way. And we have got a new one coming out, haven't we, as well? Hopefully, sometime soon. The intermodal. We just need that. We just need to try and get in somehow a new freight loco. I think that's the only thing, because we'll get another 66 again. I have no doubt. I don't mind the 66, don't get me wrong. It would just be nice to use something else. Right, 4.8 to go. There's a few people knocking about the stations for this time of the morning. So what do you think of the 52 then? Where does it rank on your list of favourite locos in TSW5? I quite like it, you know my opinion, I quite like the 31 and the 37 loco-wise in TSW. I don't know if this one will be in my top 5, even though I quite like it, and that could be down to the fact that I really haven't done enough miles in it yet. The biggest thing for me, as I mentioned throughout this video, is the nice cab, the open cab. I love this, the viewing angle, the level that we're sat at, and this massive wide windscreen. You know, what a change that makes from some of the you know, the EMUs we've got, and DMUs where we have the little letterbox window. In this one, you can have a really good look at where you're going. You can basically, you know, you get 180 degrees there, don't you? Straight away, right across. There's hardly anything in your way, so you can enjoy the route that you're on as well whilst you're driving it, which is always a good thing. So maybe I need to drive it a bit more, and it'll be higher up the list. But it's up there, but not in my top 3. Everyone's getting on the HST there. Right, 3 miles out of Nottingham. So I hope you've enjoyed this series so far. We're on episode 8. We've got a long way to go, as you can imagine. And I'm not picking these, I'm picking these out just randomly. I'm not really being methodical. I'm just thinking, oh, I'm looking down the list of trains, I'm thinking, let's just run that, or go on that route, or... So that's the way I'm doing it. But yeah, Oakville. I tried Oakville. I tried to get out get out of the way from one of those that I don't really like, and the numbers dropped. So I'm going to assume that you guys also don't like Oakville. So you didn't bother watching it. Hopefully it's only that. This one's better, and hopefully we're back on track. Right, we've got 2 yellows coming up, so we'll make sure that we'll try and slow down without coming to a complete halt, shall we, this time. There's the double yellow. We'll take off the throttle. And we'll put it in the initial application, shall we? See, the initial application, look how much brake has actually been applied. I'm going to release that again now, because we are slowing down very fast. And if we can, you know, get to sort of the mid-20s as we approach this red, that'll be good. Maybe a bit of traffic coming out of Nottingham Station that we need to wait for. We've not got a time into Nottingham, so I don't know if we're early or... Let's get the brakes on again. You can see the red just up ahead there. Let's make sure we stop ahead of it. Yeah, we're a little bit short. We can creep forward, it's fine. I'd rather be short than go straight through it, obviously. That's a nice sound effect, the creaking and the groaning of the tankers as they start to take the weight. It's a nice looking thing, isn't it? Right, that's good. We've got the green. So we're good to go. So we didn't have too long to wait. That's a nice little service, this one. And good that it's an actual proper service as well, that's in the timetable, and it's not one that I've had to get from the Creators Club or create it in Scenario Planner. It's there ready and available. We've had a few HSTs come past, we've seen a couple of 158s. And I did notice that this timetable for these petrol tankers, as part of this cargo land pack, there are services right throughout the day, and you can use the 52 for all of them if you like, which is good if you particularly enjoy the 52. This one is about 25 minutes. I did see there was some 40 minutes. There was obviously others that were a little bit longer than that as well. So you will get to drive it on here a fair bit. You can obviously use this 52 in timetable mode on the West Somerset. You can also use it, if I can get my words out, you can also use it on the Great Western Express. So you'll be able to substitute it in if you've got the Diesel Legends. You can either use the blue 52 as we did in the previous video that we did, or you can use this one. So if you prefer this one, you can. This one's not got a nameplate on it, but I know when it appears at the West Somerset Railway, there is the Western Champion appears quite a bit. So I don't know what's happened to that. There's no nameplate on this one. I don't know how many of these 52s are actually in the DLC with nameplates. But it could be. I think that unless I'm wrong, I think the Western Champion is based at the West Somerset Railway. So unless you're playing it at West Somerset, maybe the Western Champion doesn't appear. Maybe you have to be on the West Somerset to see that. That could be it. Otherwise, you just get a non-named Maroon 52 for everything else. Could be. But that's been a really enjoyable service. That I hope you've enjoyed it as well. We're just coming into Nottingham, so before we do come in and stop, don't forget to leave me a little thumbs up if you don't mind. And also, if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe if you don't mind. We're nearly at 13,000. Really pleased with that. Thank you to every one of you that has signed up. Hope you're enjoying the channel. And we got less than 500 joys now into Nottingham, so we'll take it slow, but let's not come to a complete stop. I always do this on these services. You come to the end of the line, like here at Nottingham, and you just want to carry on. You want to know what's beyond the station that you're at. And that's really weird when you're playing Train Sim Classic. And if you come into a station in TSW that you know is the end of the line, but in TS Classic sometimes the lines are longer. So Reading is a perfect example. So I don't know the Great Western Express in real life. It's a bit out of my neck of the woods. So I've driven it a lot in TSW. When I get to Reading, I always think, what's beyond Reading? You can see it. You can see trains going off into the portal. And I think, what's beyond Reading? And then I went on Train Sim Classic, and Train Sim Classic carries on and on and on. And yeah, we went off in the HST beyond Reading. In fact, we started at Reading on one of our recent videos, and that's had a really good run beyond there, and I really enjoyed that. So I hope at some point with route hopping, etc., maybe on this route will be able to hop from Nottingham onwards to somewhere else. I don't know. There's a lot of years to go in TSW, isn't there? TS Classic's been going 15 years, and it is where it is. So, who knows, after 15 years of TSW. I think we'll all need bigger consoles though, those of us that are playing it on console. I play it on both, but if you're on console, you'll need a lot of disk space eventually. But anyway, this is Nottingham. There we go, 33 minutes and 38, and we got a gold medal. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you once again for joining me. Do check out the other videos in the series of Looking Back, and do let me know what you think. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for subscribing. Take care, everybody, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.